Oh, put it down there. All right. You guys ever see that meme? You ever see that meme? It's kind of old. There's that guy, and he's like sipping on a cup of coffee, and he looks right in the camera. He goes, "Today's subject, slavery," and he's talking about a loaded, controversial, terrible subject, that no one really wants to talk about, but it's like a necessary evil, and that's how ADHD brains work. Hi, let me talk to you. Before I get into the mud, before I get into the grit, the dirt, everything else. I don't normally do things like this in streams, but you should probably start getting used to it. Jonathan Cena, one Jonathan Cena, made us a promise at some point this year. He promised us that he was going to ruin professional wrestling. He told us he was going to ruin professional wrestling. I think the only plausible thing here is to understand that John Cena never turned face again. He's the ultimate mastermind. What John Cena did, that sneaky son of a bitch, what he did was ruin professional wrestling. He did. That's why he was smirking. That's why he was smiling. That is why he tapped. Hi guys! Hello! If you don't know who I am, my name is Wheezy Blonde. I'm a professional wrestling streamer. I live stream most pro wrestling events, and I've been doing it for quite a few years. I'm here to talk about last night. Talk about Saturday night's main event, because everyone is talking about it. It's the buzz. It's everything. Everyone has the reviews and the hot takes, and I don't think I've ever seen people more split and on the same page than I ever have before. I'm trying to think of the last real controversial thing that happened, and I can't, it's not even coming to mind. I really can't think of it. But what I think we should do is let's run through. Everyone can, and that's the thing. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. I'm here to give you mine. All right. Here to give you mine. Before I start, I'm going to kind of go through the chat here and see what y'all are thinking, how you felt, how things transpired for you. And then I can respond, and then you can tell me that I'm full of shit, because that's probably in theory, really, that's probably how this is going to go down, which, fair. Oh God. Oh boy. Let's see. Perfect. Above anything else, let me start by saying, what a hell of a career. You should absolutely be sad. That John Cena is no longer going to be in ring. I really enjoyed the final match. I really did. It is so sad to see him go out like that. The cool thing is that nobody has any definite answers. I don't like when people pretend that they're right about stuff. I don't like when people act like they know things when they don't know things. And so that's probably why I got a little bit heated last night. That's absolutely why I got heated last night. Now, the thing is John Cena, oh boy, maybe at a later date. I had an idea. There's a blowtorch in front of me right now. No, actually, fuck it. Bring the blowtorch here. I don't even know how to use a blowtorch. Is this considered danger? Like, will I get in trouble? Am I going to be banned for this? I mean, it's a fire utensil. Listen, I was going to go burn a John Cena shirt. I probably will, but not at this moment. I decided to get on here and talk to you anyway. So, if I turn it on, yeah, they'll consider it a weapon. Oh, good to know. Great, love that. Regroup. Kai Cenat used a torch on stream before? Oh, okay, cool. Great. Oh, yeah, if you make a creme brulee, you have to use the torch. Cool. All right, well, we have to stay focused. I thought the match was very entertaining. I try to see things from multiple perspectives and understand why people think Gunther is boring, or if they actually do. I'm not trying to put too much energy, I guess, into what other people are saying, because at the end of the day, who gives a shit? I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was a great way to go out. I don't know that anybody would survive this other than Gunther. I know that the common rhetoric right now is that Gunther wasn't the right guy. Gunther wasn't the right guy. He shouldn't have been the one. I don't think anybody else would have survived it. I don't think anybody else would have survived it. Would you have a younger talent that has less experience than Gunther come out, make Cena tap, and then just have his career completely ended? Gunther very likely is going to walk out on Monday and laugh in our faces. He is going to laugh in our faces and do his little Gunther. I made John Cena tap. You think I care that your hero, John Cena, is not here anymore? I am the one that makes them give up. Like, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's awesome. The rage, I'm just kind of, not the accent, hey, I got a little bit of, I'm part Russian, Austrian, Polish, I got that Slavicness in me. It can come out if I really want it to. I used to do the Gunther impression pretty often, but Gunther's a hell of a professional wrestler. A hell of a professional wrestler. I'm trying to base off of what has been thrown at me. I went on TikTok live a little bit earlier to gauge what the talking points were, and one of the big ones was there's no story there. There's no story between John Cena and Gunther, and I think these are important conversations to have, because I think if you view it as there was no story there, well, I think you can find multiple stories there. Multiple. Just because two people haven't had a lot of interaction and they don't have a personal story doesn't mean that there's no story there. The story is Gunther tapped out to Jay fucking Uso at WrestleMania and took his title. And so what Gunther has been doing for this whole year is grasping, trying to get his credibility back, because he lost his confidence. He took out Goldberg, and now he took out John Cena. There's a story. There's also the funny one that I just told you of saying how, well, perception is everything. Maybe John Cena just really wanted to ruin professional wrestling, and that's what he did. It's also the mantra of never give up. Cena was always never give up. But you can't view this as John Cena, he just gave up. He just gave up. There are moments when you need to read between the lines. There are moments when you need to, or we need to. I gotta include myself. I'm one of you. I'm literally just a fucking fan. We have to pull our heads out of our asses, truthfully, and realize, there's more than just never give up. Okay? Do you think when John Cena said never give up, what he meant was put yourself in difficult, dangerous situations that you are incapable of to your detriment? John Cena never gave up for 23 years. He was hustle, loyalty, respect. He did the jobs, and he stood in the middle of the ring and took being booed and did all of that with very little thanks until the bitter end. And I think in today's world also, I think it's very important to realize this isn't never give up, and there isn't always a happily ever after. We are not all invincible for our entire lives. The fact of life and the reality of life is that all things come to an end. We come to an end. Our prime comes to an end. Our physicality. Loss is a part of life, and not being capable of doing the things that we want to do is also a fact of life. So while you might be ending that and deciding, hey, this is something that I can't do, John Cena didn't give up. He's not giving up. He tapped to Gunther. But John Cena is going to pick himself up, brush himself off, and we're going to go see John Cena continue to do whatever it is he wants to do. And that's not giving up. That's moving forward from something that's very difficult. A loss and tapping in a loss is not giving up. So I think it's hard to just see this narrow vision of, oh, well, John Cena gave up. That doesn't make any sense. Well, stop for a minute. Stop for a minute and think. He's not rolling over and dying. He's not rolling over and dying. He's going to go be with his family. He's probably going to make more movies. He might be involved in the business a little bit. He might work backstage. He might help other people. Like, all right. Let's read a couple of the super chats over here. I know that this is a little bit of a different format than you are used to, especially on Twitch. I usually read through the entire chat, but I do have thoughts that I want to get through, and so I can't divert too much. But we'll see what we got over on the tube. Evan Rogers, thank you for a $1.99 super chat. Who wants to watch this crap, though? Well, it depends on what crap. Oh, he said with another $1.99 super chat, but he gave up, though. Okay, well, I just explained that for you. So there's that. David, TMUFC, thank you for the $2 super chat. Love a heel ruining it for fans. This was perfect. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for Monday. I can't wait for Monday. I can't, because Gunther literally, if he comes out Monday, watch it be Friday. Because the brand split's made up and the rules don't matter. I actually don't even really know what roster Gunther's technically on. I have no fucking idea. But that man is going to come out and laugh in your face, like I said. So, Evan Rogers, 3190. Thank you for the $1.99 super chat. Tapping is giving up. Tapping out is literally giving out. It's giving up. That's the rules. You give up so you don't get hurt. It's very much, and herein lies the problem. Herein lies the problem. This is why we'll be in the predicaments that we're in forever. You're talking to a brick wall. I just laid it out for you. That yes, you want to use semantics. Yeah, technically, schmechnically, actually. But actually, yeah, he tapped out. He tapped out in wrestling. He gave up. He gave up to Gunther. The mantra is not, there's no dictionary definition of what John Cena meant when he said never give up. It could be, it's such a broad thing. It's such a broad thing. People really don't listen anymore. Oh, baby doll. Trust me, I know. Only here because Santi isn't live streaming. Michael Quinones, thank you for the $1.99 super chat. I actually haven't watched any of what he had to say about anything yet. I usually don't until I get out there and actually say my piece. So I gotta find my Twitch activity feed. I lost it. Where'd it go? There it is. Hey. Oh, I'm burping. TMW, thank you for cheering. 25 bits. I was really a big fan of the overall match itself. It was pretty much everything that I wanted. A nice lengthy match for Cena to soak in one last time. Finish just writes itself. It just does, man. If anyone is a fan of John Cena, the wrestler, I think you understand that it makes sense, even if it hurts, which it does, and it was supposed to in certain ways. Cena didn't give up. He just accepted that he had nothing else to give after 23 years. I'm so sorry. This was so long. It was a little long, but it's okay. The Ronnie Mac, thank you for cheering 25 bits. Wheezy, I have to say this to people. Go back and watch John Cena's face in The Sleeper. You literally can see him change from fighting to accepting that he's done and can't get out of it. He simply smiles and taps. It was him accepting that he was done. It was acceptance, not giving up. I agree with that. The way that I took it in the moment was the acceptance, the moment that he knew that it was the end of his career. He feels life and humanity so deeply. I think that was just the moment for him. But you can spin it however you want, and I've seen people do it. Anybody can decide, oh no, that was disappointment because this wasn't his decision. That was actually a smirk. It was actually an FU to Triple H. I've seen that one. We'll get into that in a second. Um, you could spin anything anyway, because the reality of anything is that we do not actually know. We don't actually know. It's all speculation. It's all perception. I'm allowed to speculate. You're allowed to speculate, but that doesn't mean we're right. That's really, really hard for people to comprehend. I will say. Breaking Kayfabe, thank you for the reset with Prime. Happy 28 months. Evan Rogers, thank you for another $4.99 super chat. With all due respect, that's kind of cope. We don't know what he meant. Bro, what? That's kind of cap? We don't know what he meant. Bro, what? Yeah, we don't know what he meant. Like, never. I don't even have to explain. I feel like it's self-explanatory here. Not everyone's gonna understand. You know, not everyone is gonna understand. They're gonna look at things through like a tunnel vision, and then it is. Joe Compton, hi Joe. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat. In my opinion, it was a rather poetic end to a legendary career. Cena went out like a true king. I feel like it was very poetic, and not just the match itself. Not just him tapping. I think it's poetic that John Cena was underappreciated the majority of his career and booed out of buildings and told he can't wrestle, and until the bitter end, you know, like I said, he wasn't appreciated. And in his final moments in the ring, the arena is in an uproar and pissed at Triple H and booing. And his moment is kind of, we will always remember John Cena's retirement as fuck Triple H. You know, that's the marker. It wasn't a man, what an end of a career. There was nobody giving him accolades except the people that he worked with, because the crowd, they tried a little thank you Cena, but actually they were more busy booing Triple H, because he, you know, obviously made all of this happen and is vindictive. So, you know, we don't know if John Cena's really happy about it. If he's not, I don't know. Hell if I know. David Schmelzer, thank you for the $2 super chat. Here to boo Santi. Boo. He's having a hard time today. You gotta leave him alone. You gotta leave Santi alone today. He's having a rough time. His hero tapped. Evan Rogers, thank you for another $4.99 super chat. It's like when Taker tapped to Brock. He's the dead man. Yeah. And people were really upset about that, weren't they? Yeah, you should be upset. You should be upset that John Cena tapped to Gunther. Hell yeah. It's crazy. You should be so mad. You should be pissed. And people are. And we're gonna see it unfold, like, right in front of us. People followed Gunther to his car. They're big mad. Big mad at Gunther. And I don't think anybody else would be able to handle it. I don't think it just shows his resilience. You know? It doesn't matter that he tapped out to Jey Uso. Doesn't matter. Everybody has moments of weakness. Gunther had his moment of weakness, and he's been all year to this moment, to get to this moment. What I will say is, I do think the Outrage live was a little selfish. I think the initial booing was more. I think it would have been, well, there was dead silence. That's the biggest thing. This wasn't. When you really look at it, there was no immediate booing of Gunther. It was shock that John Cena tapped. And the silence was deafening. Which I think just shows how big of a moment that is, right? It's this holy shit of, oh my God, okay, he tapped. And the first thought wasn't F Gunther, you know? That wasn't it. Because if that were the case, there would have been immediate booing. That didn't happen until Triple H walked out. I think there should have been more booing Gunther, for one. I think there should have been more booing for Gunther. Have that moment. But this was such a never really been done before. I do think that Cena is larger than life. He's one of the only ones to be able to have this kind of tour and go out. So there's kind of no rubric on how exactly it was going to go or how it should have gone. Because in my head, it's like, yeah, we should have booed Gunther and then been done and honored Cena and let Cena have his peers come out and congratulate him and have his moment. That's how I feel like it should have gone. The hijacking of making it about Triple H is what I think is interesting, because Triple H doesn't fucking care. I think that, well, I mean, this is, again, I don't know for sure. Let me preface that. I don't know. I will never pretend that I do. But all signs point to, in my opinion, I know I'm a hypocrite. I don't care. You guys can be. I can be too. We can go in circles all day long. Triple H doesn't care. He left. He's being booed, and everyone thinks that they're doing something, and the man doesn't care. The man, what? We really think we did something? We really think we did something? It's like when he went on the post show. You know what would have been more impactful? If nobody would have fucking showed up to the post show. That would have been way more impactful than a bunch of people booing and him just laughing in your face and talking shit. That would have been way more impactful. Someone just said Triple H stands for ha ha ha. Oh my lord. Oh my lord, oh my lord. Dead Cow, thank you for resubbing. Happy 2 months. See, in the moment, I didn't like that he just smiled and accepted. It took the immersion out of it for me. I don't care that he lost. That was almost a given, but to watch him smile and lightly tap as big man Gunther is squeezing him took it out for me. Chris Truck, thank you for the resub for 4 months. Roni Mac, thank you for cheering 100 bits. You know what's annoying, though? The moving of the goalposts. You get fans complaining that Triple H is responsible. Then you tell them that it was probably John's idea. Then they go, then why didn't he overrule John? Because it was John's decision? Well, then John should have at least passed out, not gave up. Mark G, 1983, thank you for cheering 100 bits. Whatever the finish was and whoever made the decision, I think the one thing that stood out to me was the reaction in the arena after. The booing and chants were disrespectful to Cena. After that match, no matter how you felt, he deserved cheers and respect, but that's just my opinion. Oisin, thank you for cheering 100 bits. John tapping was not giving up. It was a sign of him letting us go because the last time had passed. Oh, I like that one. What else did we miss here? Will Meister, thank you for sharing 100 bits. I mean, I thought it was poetic. I believe Cena tapping out was the best way for him to retire. But as far as Triple H, this time he's not to blame. All he did was wrap his hand around Cena and pull a Zordon by having Cena check the viewing globe. That's a Power Rangers reference. The smile was impactful to me. We'll all perceive it differently and take it differently. It was just impactful to me it's like, I liken it to when Rhea Ripley beat Charlotte for the title at WrestleMania, and Charlotte is on the side of the ring, and she's like, they ended up getting the shot of her like smiling and looking down during the celebration. I liken it to something like that. It's the end of for Cena. It's that moment of humanity where you remember that these aren't just people dancing in a ring for us. These are real humans, and he had one hell of a career, one long career. So, Evan Rogers, thank you for another $1.99 super chat. They paid thousands of dollars to watch Dog. I'd boo too. That's perception. I spent money to go to WrestlePalooza. Yeah, that was a waste of my fucking money. Let me tell you what, that fucking sucked. But it was my decision. I didn't have to spend that money. And it is a gamble that you take when you do those kinds of things. And yeah, be pissed. I get it. Shit. But There are no guarantees. And if you've been bitching about the product the whole year and you go and spend thousands of dollars and then expect it to be any different, you played yourself. I'm just playing your game. I don't know. Evan Rogers, thank you for another $1.99 super chat. Those rapidly dropping ratings, Will. I don't know what the ratings are because I don't pay attention to them. So, yeah. Everyone's going to watch next week just to see what happens. You know? I'm just watching someone crash out. I'm just watching someone crash out and I'm ignoring them, but he's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. I'll never understand people who pay for seats just to boo. You're helping the product that you say you hate. There's moments to boo. It's such a come on, stop defending nose man. What am I defending? Here you will have I will have people that will forever come at me and tell me that I am on a payroll and that I'm defending and I'm not defending the motherfucker. I don't know the fucker. All right? I'm not defending shit. I'm trying to talk about my perspective and what I am thinking and give you a little bit of a different one because I think you're also very used to hearing the same shit. I know I'm different. I know I am. I'm very aware of it. That was very clear last night. This is also a hate exercise where I'm learning how to deal with it. So, at the end of the day, maybe look in the mirror a little bit. Maybe, I don't know, maybe look inside yourself. Evan Rogers, thank you for another $1.99 super chat. It's like Austin giving up beer. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, like, what the fuck? Absolutely. 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 We should absolutely compare John Cena tapping to Steve Austin giving up beer. It's totally the same thing. Hell yeah. You're so right. Lions 1079 MD. Thank you for the $10 super chat. I think Gunther winning was the right call. If they did the Bret Hart Stone Cold WrestleMania 13 finish by Cena passing out instead of tapping out, it would have been better received. I think they would have had less. There would be a little less ammo for sure. Because right now the easy thing is to say that he gave up. So there is that. If he'd passed out, there wouldn't be that. But I think the end reaction still would have been the same. I think it still would have been, how dare they do this to John Cena? How dare they do this to John Cena? I think that was inevitable no matter what. And I find it very interesting. I find it very interesting as someone that feels like they have a pretty good understanding of storytelling. And the idea that the only good way for this to have gone is for Cena to have the happily ever after and win. It's kind of like I'm just watching people backpedal nonstop. I feel like that's all I'm seeing. And I am self-proclaimed someone that never feels very strongly about anything, because I don't. I was cursed with being able to see things from multiple perspectives. So I am definitely someone that stands for nothing and maybe can fall for anything. But I think people like me need to exist. For that reason, the idea that John Cena winning and going out in a blaze of glory, it was the only way that this could have gone, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. So there is a comment that I want to read really quick. It's okay, you're a fan like us. Simon Miller tried to paint a positive outlook. The busted open WWE employees tried to spin it positively, but I think the fans who hated this ending are more honest. I think everyone is being honest with how they actually feel. The difference between people with microphones and podcasters that have rapport is they look at it they do have a different understanding than you. They do have a different understanding than you, and I believe that fans are more influenced by what other fans are saying rather than creators and podcasters. I know that Simon, because he said it, Simon and myself don't give takes. Wrong words. Simon and I don't watch anybody else's takes before we come up with our own, because you can be influenced by it. So I like to put on paper first, or I like to make a quick small video about what I think before I start consuming what other people think, just so that I can keep what my brain is thinking rather than what everybody else is thinking. And then I can start consuming some of the other information and deciding what I want to change my mind about. Because you should change your mind. I'll beat that to death. If you're presented with good information and something that could change your mind, it's a mark of an intelligent person to be able to do that, to be given better information and tweak it. It really is. It really is. You don't have to be right off the bat. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to be wrong about some shit. That's all right. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. I not even backpedal. I think my initial reaction of them booing and reacting the way they did in the audience, I got to remember that this is still a scripted thing, and in the way that it happened, yeah, you should be upset. You can't look at everything as someone that sees behind the lens. And no, this is the story. You should be pissed. Fuck yeah. But your emotions take over first before anything, and you jump the gun and say what you say. Evan Rogers, thank you for another $1.99 super chat. No, the good call was win or pass out. But that's not what happened. But it's not what happened. So where do we go from here? I think at this point, we're at a stage we should probably take a page out of John Cena's own fucking handbook and the things that he says and figure out, okay, well, what we think should have happened didn't fucking happen. So now what? Right? Who knows what's laid out for the next month? We have Rumble coming up. You have the Netflix premiere. Who knows why that was done? Who knows? Who knows? I don't see a scenario that would have been much better than what happened. If Cena won, it would have been it really would have been a very good feel-good moment. But then what? I kind of like that. Not that I like that Cena lost. Of course I don't. Of course I don't like that Cena lost. But I do think it's cool that Cena tapped, we have all this buzz, and now we have somewhere to go with Gunther. Because Gunther's not just gonna fall by the wayside. There's more coming from this. And I think that that's pretty cool, that there's something to gain from it happening. When you see wrestling interviews, they always talk about going out on your back. Cena is all about helping the business. It makes sense to me, Cena losing. I've tried to make a point to not say the obvious of in professional wrestling, people go out on their back. Because that's the common sense answer that everyone gives, but people just aren't listening. They don't care about that. So I just feel like it's pointless to even waste your breath. Evan Rogers, thank you for another $1.99 super chat. Bankruptcy, obviously. What's next is the WWE is going into bankruptcy. Okay. That's not what we're talking about. I'm not talking about the company itself. I'm not talking about inner workings. I'm talking about storyline. I'm talking about John Cena losing to Gunther and what that means. Very rarely do we really get into the nitty gritty of a company, because look at me. Do I look like I fucking understand an actual corporation or business? I'm not here to talk about who's good at booking, who's not good at booking, because I've never been a booker. I've never been someone in charge of a multi-million-dollar corporation. I've never been someone that knows anything about billionaires. And honestly, fuck all about it either. So we're all in the same boat, okay? We all come from the same place. I have a little piece of shit white fridge in my kitchen and some linoleum roll tile that's ripped, all right? And I got a hole in my ceiling. What? Come on now. I don't even know how to make an Excel spreadsheet, bitch. David, TMUFC, thank you for the $2 super chat. Ask yourself this. What does Cena winning achieve? A feel-good moment for the fans. Cena winning achieves a feel-good moment for the fans. And beyond that, a guaranteed nice send off. Like that's it. I feel like that's what I gather from it. Evan Rogers, thank you for another $4.99 super chat. Everyone John put over the last 8 years haven't escaped the mid card. Austin Theory. Who else? Did he put over Austin Theory? Or Solo? Solo. What else did he have in there, weaved in there? Evan Rogers, thank you for another $1.99 super super tat. Solo, Dom, Kevin Owens. Not starting out great. These are all good names. Besides, Theory is there's a point to be made with Theory for sure. Evan Rogers, 3190. Thank you. Oh, I already said that. Or SWE, Saudi Wrestling Entertainment. Good one. Good one. Good one. Good one. That's not what we're talking about either. That's not what we're talking about either. Bitch. What's wrong with a feel-good moment? There's nothing wrong with a feel-good moment. I was just asked a question. I answered it. That's what people get from... That's what would have been achieved from Cena winning. Was the feel-good moment. I understand being upset. Do I have to gentle parent? Shit. All right. It's okay to have big feelings. You know, it's okay to have big feelings and be upset that you didn't get the moment that you wanted. But, you know, sometimes in life, we don't always get what we want. We don't always have the pencil in our hands for so many things. And sometimes we just have to learn to roll with the punches. But it's okay to feel your big feelings. I promise. It's really okay. It's really, really okay. Irish Jew, thank you for cheering 5 bits 2 times. Mark G, 1983. Thank you for cheering 25 bits. A lot of the people crashing out are the people Cena was talking about when he said if you weren't going to get closure and accept he was done, then you shouldn't watch his last match. Did he say that? I actually don't remember that. Which, I believe you. I believe you. But I would love to go back and find it. I would like to watch it myself. TMW, thank you for cheering 25 bits. I will say I didn't mind the easy tap out because they were working the sleeper for a solid amount of time before he tapped. Cena had fought out of it a couple times, but it just seemed like Gunther was always going to find a way to lock it back in. Cena just accepted that it was GG's. And we said GG's too. We did. We offered our GG's. Mark G, 1983, thank you for another 25 bits. I saw that you didn't finish your thought there, and then you did. So... He said, "Oh, was it on McAfee? That's why I didn't hear it because I only made it like a part of the way through, and then I ended up in another part of the house, and I didn't hear all of it. I like caught the beginning when he was talking about Indianapolis and a couple other things, and like his future ventures. That was pretty much it. That was all I got. Oh, let me see what I got over. Oh, I'm all caught up on that. Cool. Do I think Edge can return to WWE? I think anybody can return to WWE in the right circumstances. They have to obviously not be under contract with somebody else. And if they are, there has to be a conversation and agreement had to where they could temporarily go to the other company. But never say never in wrestling. Never say never in anything. Like anything can happen at any time. And I don't think we should be 100% confident about what is or isn't possible, personally. I am curious now how quickly we forgot about the masked man. How quickly we forget about the masked man, you know? So fast. The bit sound is happening again. Oh, I don't have my headphones in. I don't know how to get rid of it. I have no idea how to get rid of it. I will figure it out, I guess, when we're not on stream. I kind of forgot it was a thing. Evan Rogers, thank you for another $4.99 super chat. Let me ask you this. Some people only came back for John. What have they seen this year that would make them say nothing? What, from Cena? A lot of people only came back for Cena, so what they've seen this year would say nothing, meaning just like the entirety of the tour. Because, I mean, that's another rebuttal everyone keeps coming at me for. It's like, oh, we're not doing this, it's this. Like, I keep getting, they keep swerving to different things. It's like I say, it's like I give you an explanation for something, then I'm given another explanation of like, no, it's not that, it's this. Well, which one is it, damn it? Like, which one is it? Which one is it actually? I don't know, because I'm not someone that just came back this year for Cena. So I can't answer that question from the perspective of someone that came back only for Cena. I would want to know from them. What I have found, though, from a casual like that, a casual person that comes in solely for Cena, they're a lot more open to anything than someone that's been watching for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. So I will make an assumption that I'm sure they could find something that they really liked. Whether it be related to John Cena or not, I think I came across a lot of people that were surprised that they enjoyed some of the things that were happening. Personally. Where did I leave off? Misfit Wrestling Podcast. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Gunther told us for 3 weeks that he was going to make the man who gives up tap out. Passing out would have defeated that promo. But no, he needed to pass out. We gotta be big mad. David TMUFC, thank you for $2 super chat. Anyways, Obafemi was one highlight for me. I liked the reaction to Obafemi from people. I liked the reaction. In my chat, there were a lot of people that didn't know who he was. And I noticed in my comments of the reaction video, there were a lot of people that didn't know who he was. And the curiosity was spiked. It's like people can sense that he's special. There's part of me that was disappointed in the match, selfishly. Because obviously, I wanted Obafemi to destroy Cody Rhodes. I wanted him to beat that ass. I really did. I just wanted something to liven things up, something a little different. But I understand that it makes sense that is not what happened. Drew's bitch ass comes in and destroys of course. Of course. It protects both of them. It's fine. But I wanted Obafemi to whoop that ass. I'm not even joking. Evan Rogers, thank you for the $1.99 super chat. And for correcting yourself by saying stay. Huh? I don't know. Oh boy. Everyone really is all across the board. Everyone really is all across the board with everything. I think it's very, very interesting. It's good though. Anyone that wants to say right now that like the heat is a bad thing, if people didn't care, they wouldn't be reacting, So that is a positive to it for sure. It is definitely a positive. It is definitely a positive. I would like to I keep this one person I am ignoring, and my knee-jerk reaction is I want to just tell them off, but obviously I don't care enough to, so I just keep seeing it, and I'm like, oh boy. Oh, he's gonna keep going. Okay, well, I'm gonna get rid of him, and then I'm gonna get rid of him. How do I get rid of him? Oh, hide user. There we go. Perfect. Listen, I am sorry that JD from New York has convinced everybody in the world that anyone that does what I do is on a payroll or is afraid to ruffle feathers within any particular company. Let me tell you from experience that really these big companies don't give a flying fuck about anybody but themselves. That is a reality of any large company. There are good people anywhere, right? There are good people anywhere. It is just always so flabbergasting to a hive mind mentality of people that want to be negative to listen to somebody try and talk through multiple different perspectives. Like I said, the devil couldn't touch me, so he made me see things from multiple perspectives. And my knee-jerk reaction is not always to be super fucking negative. It's just not. Nor will I make assumptions immediately right off the bat about other people. So it is unfortunate that JD has a running bit now where, reaction stringers, and makes fun of them. And so now I have to deal with the fucking bullshit fallout because I don't feel the need to talk shit about stuff that I don't know anything about. Because I will never pretend to be confident about things that I don't understand. I love professional wrestling. I like storytelling. People at both AEW and WWE have been great to me. They have never paid me. They've never paid me. I've gotten tickets from WWE twice, and that was in 2024. In big 2025, 0. AEW, I've never gotten any. I will be getting them for the first time for World's End. That's not something I would ever hide. I don't give a flying fuck. They're not paying off any of us. If they're paying, anyone that they are paying is in their production, actually on set with a microphone. Not the reaction clips that they're taking from the internet that they're compiling together. Like, use your brain. Use your noggins. Come on now. It takes like 2 seconds to really kind of like think that through and realize it. Mr. Wrestling Podcast, thank you for the $5 super chat. I'd like to know where the Triple H people were when Vince booked Brock to end the streak. Well, those are the same people. They're young. That's the one thing I think. The one thing I think isn't talked about enough is that it's just an entire new generation of fans that have come in, and a lot of them are very young, like under the age of 25. They haven't been watching very long. A big majority of the bring Vince back conversation are people that weren't watching when he was in charge. And there was good and there was really bad. There was like really good and there was really bad. There was both. I think if you can't admit that, I'm gonna not really like think you're credible at all. But towards the end, dog shit. Dog shit, dog shit, dog shit. Okay? I was there. I watched it. 2019 fucking sucked, okay? It wasn't good. I pretty much almost stopped watching. One of the biggest reasons I started watching regularly again was because there was nothing else to do. It was 2020. I was stuck at home. There was nothing else to do except watch wrestling and listen to Busted Open. That's what I did. I watched the Thunderdome era. I watched all of that unfold, and I look back on it quite fondly, both AEW and WWE, because there was nothing else to do. It was my whole life. It was my whole life. And then I kind of stuck with it. 2021, I was in and out. But, you know, people think they'd be dunking. Iceman, 2360, thank you for the $2 super chat. Hi, Wheezy, just subbed to your channel. But back to the different generation. The people that have only been watching since the lead up to WrestleMania 40 are something that I think you really need to remember and think about. They've never been in the pits, guys. They've never been in the pits. They weren't there. They weren't there for it. They weren't there for it, you know? They're spoiled. They got into it because it was really hot and everybody was excited about it, and the bloodline was the biggest thing happening, and we went into WrestleMania 40 and everyone was super stoked, and we were going into the Netflix era, and Cody Rhodes beat Roman Reigns, and it's one of the best WrestleManias of all time. It is a lightning in a bottle situation. Once in a lifetime. It's a Mania 17, it's a Mania 3. It's those kinds of situations. They are spoiled. So they think now that just because everything is not lead up to WrestleMania 40, that it's absolutely terrible. This year was not that fucking bad. There were some poor decisions made. There were some very poor decisions made. I'm still mad that the tag division is the way that it is. I think it's getting better. I think it's looking like it has the potential to get better. I'm intrigued by the MFTs and the Wyatts, but the Wyatts have been teased and then they go away. And then there's a little like thing with the TV and then they go away. And then they couldn't book 2 tag teams against each other and make it interesting. We just had to throw all of the tag teams into a room and have them bark at each other. Yeah, that's not great. Do I think this year is the worst of all time? No, I don't. It's cool if you do. It's not a hill I'm gonna die on. But like, damn. But like, damn. We lived through. That's what I mean. This year was not that bad. That's cap. It was a step back. I'm a contrarian. I can't help it. I don't know how to be any other way. I don't know how to be any other way. Because semantics, yeah, you could say it was a step back. There's nothing that was going to repeat the build up to 40. There's nothing. There's nothing that was going to repeat the build up to 40. And after 40, it's just things changed. And that was out of our control. It was out of our control. Someone said the difference between acting spoiled and just expecting better. It's the part where I realize I am different from someone that does that, and I'm trying to navigate how to make this my own thing when it comes to that, because I have not had too many things happen this year where I'm like, I just expect better. I don't feel. I'm really trying to think of something that just insults my intelligence and that I just fucking hate. Oh, WrestleMania. Okay, sure. Yeah, WrestleMania. Didn't like that. You're upset about Cross Scarlet? Yeah, absolutely. Lots of wasted potential. Yes, but that's always here's. I was pissed. Okay. I don't feel like I should need to run through the entirety of the year of things I've bitched about on stream. Unfortunately, that's been the place that I do it. Yeah, WrestlePalooza. I was pissed that they took the title off of Chelsea Green and then didn't give Zelina a microphone. And for why did they even do that? And then it made Zelina look the way that she looked, and it was stupid. They should Julia, the handling of the U.S. women's title in general. Yeah, sure. The thing is, there's hits and there's misses. There's hits and there's misses. They're still moving forward and changing. That is the one thing at the moment. Okay, Michin is... That one's not changing. Other things, you can see an effort of things trying to change. It's a big machine. It's a complicated thing. There's a lot of moving parts that I don't understand. So in this format of trying to have a conversation about things, I can only tell you from my perspective in the lens of what I know. And that's it. I can't go on a rant about too much because I also let shit go. It's not going to affect my mood 6 months later what happened 6 months ago. I am way too therapied to hang on to shit that upset me 6 months ago. We move forward and we move on and we hope for better. And if we don't get better, okay, be in that moment and move forward. But a wild place, the internet is. Very, very, very interesting. Yeah, there's a case for a lot of things. As someone just said, I mean, I feel like there are so many female wrestlers that could be utilized more in the mid division. Absolutely. Absolutely there is. Right. But how much and how often do you beat the same thing to death? How much time do you give something if you don't see an effort to change it? And I think maybe that's a downfall of mine too, is I'm willing to give a lot of things a chance because, again, it's not my job. I'm a consumer. I can tell you in the moment whether I like things or not. And another thing that keeps me from crashing out is that I have the understanding that a lot of decisions are made with an end goal in mind, and I don't know what that end goal is. And so I'm going to hate something, but maybe there's a reason I'm going to hate it. So I'll outwardly hate it, but I'm not going to crash and burn and say this is the worst thing of all time when I don't really know where they're going. It's so hard to understand that line of story, internet bullshit. Like the actual wrestling, what's happening, the story being told, the characters. It's so hard to separate that from booking decisions. This is going this way. Why would he be putting this person over? Why would he be doing this? Why would he be doing that? I don't know how to navigate it anymore. I'm really trying to find that. And I think me talking like this is me literally trying to figure it out. It's me trying to figure it out. And I don't know, but it's worth a shot. It's worth a shot. Where are we at with time? We're at 56 minutes. Cool. We yapped for an hour. Look at us go. I feel like I got a lot off my chest. I really honestly expected YouTube to be way more volatile than they're being, but I didn't play ball, so I'm gonna let y'all. I also don't have a mod in here right now, like completely shutting people down, so that's fine. Y'all are allowed to have your opinions and have conversations, but I like to implore people to think a little bit differently and try to think a little bit differently. There always has to be that aggregator. I'll be it. I don't give a fuck. I can take it, or at least now I'm at a point in my life that I can take it. The only time I'll really don't talk shit about my Lions. I'm kidding. Everyone talks shit about my Lions. It's fine. I understand. We dropped a 3 in this. It's fine. We're going to beat them today, though. We're going to do it. I promise. I promise. Last thing I'll say before I go. I know that a lot of you are not used to me. You don't know me. I know I'm a woman. I wear my emotions in my content. I talk about my life. I am a human being. And we're probably going to disagree a lot. I am working on not automatically assuming people are bad people for disagreeing with me. I know you're not. It's just I want you so badly to think for yourself, because I see the way that the world is going, and I see people being influenced by what they read rather than thinking for themselves. And I think it's so important. To really look at the bigger picture of where we are, where life is, and that this is pro wrestling. And while you might think, while it might be very, very important to you, content creation has just fucked the mentality so badly. And I don't want the thing that I love to get hijacked by whatever is going on right now. I was very concerned last night. It was more than just heat. It was people regurgitating the same shit. And I don't agree with the mentality of, well, if a lot of people are saying it, it must be true. No. There's a very popular psychology. My regulars will know this. This is how I'll end. My regulars will know this, but I bring it up often. There is a very popular psychology study. I forget the name of it every damn time. Maybe someone will remember, but it is a study where a subsect of people were all given a wrong answer except one person. So a question was posed. Everybody has the wrong answer and is in on the experiment except one person. One person had the right answer. Everybody else had the wrong one. Okay. And this happened. I forget how many times they posed questions. The same person was the only one that had the right answer. Everyone else was wrong. And they started questioning it because they're the only person giving a different answer than the rest of this room of people. And eventually, this person, the Ash Conformity Study, thank you so much. It is called the Ash Conformity Study. Eventually, this person that is the only one giving the different answer, even though it's the right answer, Eventually, he changes his mind and goes with, and I believe these were FBI agents. Correct? I think it might have been like an FBI study. He eventually goes with the answer of everybody else because he's so tired of being the only one that's not giving the right answer. The right answer. Just because everybody else is saying it does not make it correct, if there even is a correct answer, depending on what it is. So I always like to remind people of that, because while I sometimes think we're kidding and having fun, other people are taking it very, very seriously and very to heart. And it doesn't need to be that way. So if you have a little bit of a different take, that doesn't mean you're wrong. Okay? Okay. Thank you all for listening to me today. I really, really appreciate it. Please make sure that you are subscribed. If you're on YouTube, please like the video. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing as far as releasing YouTube videos go. I like sitting down and yapping like this so much more than I do trying to edit videos. I can't afford an editor at the moment, so follow me on Instagram. That's where most of my reactions are. I have a Twitter as well, and all of those can be found in my description and on wheezyblonde.com. Okay? Thank you very much. I will be streaming Monday at 8 p.m., okay? I will see you guys tomorrow. Take good. I will make sure to actually end the